But of course, there will be less money to go around now. The aid budget or development budget is going to be cut by effectively about 30%. What will the impact of that be?
Well, the impact will be very serious. If you take it across the piece, it will mean that 1 million girls who Britain was going to educate in the poorest parts of the world won't get an education. It will mean that 7.6 million girls and women won't get access to family planning and contraception. And that's very important because many people on the right of politics believe that we should... that they talk about population control, but what they mean is that there are too many mouths to feed. And it must be right to allow women to have the choice for themselves over whether and when they have children. 7.6 million of the poorest women in the world won't get access to that. 3.8 million people will not get access to clean water. And remember that waterborne diseases every day, every week, kill thousands and thousands of mainly children. So, and there'll be a whole series of other knock-on effects, because you cannot take 30% out of a budget, in addition to the 10% we've already taken out this year, without having a massive effect on the work that Britain is doing.
Have you been able to sit down with Boris Johnson or Rishi Sunak and told them that?
Well, Rishi was kind enough to call me at the weekend and tell me what he planned, and we were able to have a short discussion about this. But the point I've been trying to make today in the House of Commons is that because of the 30% cut, 100,000, just over 100,000, mainly children, will die. These are preventable deaths, which Britain, with its programme, would have prevented. And, you know, we're moving heaven and earth to stop people dying of COVID in Britain.
So you're
had 50,000 deaths.
Telling me now that this decision will kill 100,000 children.
I am telling you that the 30%, if applied across the piece, will have all the effects I have just described, including not vaccinating a group of children, which will mean that there are 100,000 preventable deaths as a result.
You could argue, I suppose, just to play devil's advocate, that if our aid budget was 0.9% as opposed to 0.7%, you could save another 100,000.
That is true, but even I wouldn't argue it should be more than 0.7. 0.7 was a promise. It was a promise made to the poorest and most vulnerable people in the world. It was a promise that was in the manifestos of all the major political parties elected to the House of Commons. And we are planning to break our promise.